the heavy car, sneaker hidden on the gray, starting up the quiet day. The tempo settles deep into the bone. I leave the quiet lobby all alone, ready for the heavy bass to drop. Matte black cases in the hand, stepping on the solid land. Everything decoded loud, everything is feeling fine. Locking up the muscle with an ace. Muscle with an ace. Muscle with an ace. Muscle with an ace. Muscle with an Yellow taxi driving by underneath the silver sky. Jacket zip is pulling high, letting all the limits die. Traffic light is turning red, nothing heavy in the head. Breathing in the cooling air, nothing heavy left to bear. The tempo settles deep into the bone. I leave the quiet lobby all alone, ready for the heavy bass to drop. Black cases in the hand, stepping on the solid land. Everything decoded line, everything is feeling fine. Locking up the muscle with an ace. Muscle with an ace. Muscle with an ace. Muscle with an ace. Muscle with an Black cases in the hand, stepping on the solid land. Everything decoded line, everything is feeling fine. Locking up the muscle with an ace. Muscle with an ace. Muscle with an ace. Muscle with an ace. Muscle with an ace.
Looking at the tinted glass, watching empty buses pass. System groove. Yeah. 3 minutes upon the dial, running with a little smile. Concrete grid is on the ground, listening to urban sounds. Silver chain upon the neck, nothing left for me to check. Sneakers sitting on the line, everything is feeling fine. The music settles deep into the bone. I leave the quiet neighborhood alone, ready for the heavy bass to drop. Concrete grid beneath the show, painting up the avenue. Stepping on the solid gray, washing all the stress away. Yeah, locking up the riff in the bone, walking in the urban city soul. Glass window reflecting clear, nothing heavy waiting here. Traffic signal turning green, washing up the daily screen. Water bottle in the hand, stepping on the solid land. Shoulders dropping side to side, taking on the urban ride. The music settles deep into the bone. I leave the quiet neighborhood alone, ready for the heavy bass to drop. Concrete grid beneath the show, painting out the avenue. Stepping on the solid gray, washing all the stress away. Yeah, locking up the riff in the bone, walking in the urban city soul.
heavy bass to drop. Hoodie strings are bouncing on the chest, giving all the heavy thoughts a rest. Stepping over flashing yellow line, everything is looking perfectly fine. Yeah, keeping up the rhythm in the bone, walking in the urban city zone. Subway grade is breathing out, nothing heavy left to doubt. Silver watches ticking fast, leaving everywhere we pass. Shadows stretching on the wall, listen to the city call. Shoulders dropping down a bit, finding out the perfect fit. The tempo settles deep into the light. The taste of mint is resting on the tongue. Ready for the heavy bass to drop. Hoodie strings are bouncing on the chest, giving all the heavy thoughts a rest. Stepping over flashing yellow line, everything is looking perfectly fine. Yeah, keeping up the rhythm in the bone, walking in the urban city zone. Hoodie strings are bouncing on the chest, giving all the heavy thoughts a rest. Stepping over flashing yellow line, everything is looking perfectly fine. Yeah, keeping up the rhythm in the bone, walking in the urban city zone.
Flashing on the screen, running through the midnight scene. Headlights crossing on the right, cutting through the heavy shades. Sweat is dropping on the chin, letting all the motion in. Sneakers sitting on the gray, washing all the noise away. Breathing steadier, inside the quiet vein, leaving every heavy shadow in the brain. Ready for the synthesizer drop. Crossing headlights in the dark, 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 dark. Running by the empty park, 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 park. Stepping on the solid ground, hey, hey, hey. Listening to the urban sound, hey, hey, hey. Pushing through the middle of the zone, hey, hey, hey. Locking up the rhyme in the bone, in the bone. Silver bridges up ahead, nothing heavy left unsaid. Traffic signal flashing red, clearing up the heavy head. Shoulders dropping to the base, moving in the empty space. Breathing in the cooling air, nothing heavy left to bear. Breathing steady air, inside the quiet vein, leaving every heavy shadow in the brain. Ready for the synthesizer drop. Crossing headlights in the dark, 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 dark. Running by the empty park, 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 park. Stepping on the solid ground, hey, hey, hey. Listening to the urban sound, hey, hey, hey. Pushing through the middle of the zone, hey, hey, hey. Locking up the rhyme in the bone, in the bone. Empty park, heavy dark, leave a mark. Headlights in the dark, 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 dark. Running by the empty park, 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 park. Stepping on the solid ground, hey, hey, hey. Listening to the urban sound, hey, hey, hey. Pushing through the middle of
screen, running through the urban scene. Chainlink fences on the right, catching up the neon light. Shadows dropping on the ground, listen to the city sound. Sneakers sitting on the gray, washing all the noise away. The oxygen is filling up the quiet lung. The heavy taste of water resting on the tongue. Ready for the heavy bass to drum. Ready for the heavy bass to drum. Chainlink fences passing fast, living every shadow pass. Stepping over silver gray, running over silver gray. Running in a steady state, smoking with the breath and breath. Leaving every shadow pass. Stepping over silver gray. Running in a steady state. With the rough in the night. The muscle with the knife. Blue light flashing on the glass, watching empty bottles pass. Water dropping from the steel, focus on the way I feel. Pavement has a little crack, I am never looking back. Shoulders dropping to the beat, owning every empty street. The oxygen is filling up the quiet lung. The heavy taste of water resting on the tongue. Ready for the heavy bass to drum. Ready for the heavy bass to drum. Chainlink fences passing fast, leaving every shadow pass. Stepping over silver gray, running over silver gray. Running in a steady state, smoking with the breath and breath. Chainlink, leaving every shadow pass. Stepping over silver gray, running in a steady state. With the rough in the night, the muscle with the knife. Silver gray, steady state, never wait. Chainlink, leaving every shadow pass. Stepping over silver gray, running in a steady state. With the rough in the night, the muscle with the knife. Steady state, chilling state.
Stepping in the heavy shade, listening to the rhythm made. 15 minutes on the run, hiding from the city sun. Concrete pillar on the right, blocking out the yellow light. Train is moving overhead, nothing heavy left unsaid. Sneakers tapping on the ground, swallowed by the heavy sound. Vibration settles deep inside the vein. Washing out the complicated daily strain. Ready for the heavy bass to drop. Overpass is hiding up and watching out the shade. Stepping in the middle of the shade, yeah. Locking up the muscle to the beat, owning every corner of the street. Water shaking in the back, I am never looking back. Silver metal on the rail, pushing through the urban trail. Breathing in the cooling wind, leaving all the noise behind. Shoulders dropping side to side, taking on the midnight ride. Vibration settles deep inside the vein. Washing out the complicated daily strain. Ready for the heavy bass to drop.
midnight air. System push. 18 minutes on the dial, moving for another mile. Iron shadow on the wall, listening to the heavy call. Yellow window glowing bright, cutting through the heavy night. Sneaker tapping on the street, locking with the heavy beat. A single drop of sweat is falling from the face, finding out the center of the empty space. Ready for the heavy bass to drop, adding every second of the space. Stepping on the solid grade, adding every second of the space. Adding every second of the space. Brick is painted faded red, nothing heavy in the head. Silver railing catching light, everything is feeling right. Breathing in the cooling breeze, moving with the perfect ease. Shoulders dropping side to side, taking on the urban glide. A single drop of sweat is falling from the face, finding out the center of the empty space. Ready for the heavy bass to drop, adding every second of the space. 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 Solid gray, empty adding every second of the space. Adding every second of the space. Adding every second of the space. Adding every second of the space.
System push. Yeah. 21 up on the screen, running through the midnight scene. Silver hydrant on the right, catching up the yellow light. Water dropping on the bass, moving in the empty space. Sneaker tapping on the gray, washing all the noise away. It's dropping in the quiet wind. I leave the heavy shadow of the town behind. Ready for the heavy bass to drop.
Silver hydrant standing on the street, locking up the muscle to the beat. Stepping over flashing yellow light, flashing red, nothing heavy in the head. System lock. Up on the screen, running through the urban scene till I fading in the dark, moving past a quiet park. Neon sign is glowing bright, cutting through the heavy night. Sneaker tapping on the street, locking with the heavy beat. Breathing steady air inside the quiet lung. Taste the water resting on the dry tongue. Ready for the heavy bass to drop. Every second of the space. Pavement has a little crack, I am never looking back. Silver watches ticking fast, leaving every shadow past. Glasses catching up the glow, moving in a steady flow. Breathing in the cooling breeze, moving with the perfect ease. Breathing steady air inside the quiet lung. Taste the water. Ready for the heavy bass to drop. Red tail light is fading down the lane, washing out the complicated strain. Stepping on the solid concrete gray, pushing all the heavy noise away. Owning every second of the space. Every second of the space. Empty speaking, solid gray. Hit the bass.
Hey, knowing that I cannot stop, system peak, yeah. 27 on the screen, running through the midnight scene. Flashing timer on the right, cutting through the heavy night. White steam rising from the gray, pushing through the solid gate. Sneaker tapping on the street, locking with the heavy beat. Shadows moving in the empty space. Sweat is dropping from the tired face. Ready for the heavy bass to drop. Flashing timer counting down the lane, washing out the complicated strain. Stepping on the solid concrete break, pushing all the heavy noise away. Empty space, solid gray. Empty space. Keep the pace. Silver building reaching high, underneath the midnight sky. Yellow taxi moving slow, bathing in the afterglow. Pavement has a little crack, I am never looking back. Shoulders dropping to the beat, out in every empty street. Shadows moving in the empty space. Sweat is dropping from the tired face. Ready for the heavy bass to drop. Flashing timber counting down the lane, washing out the complicated strain. Stepping on the solid concrete break, pushing all the heavy noise away. Solid gray.
walking through the quiet scene. Empty bottle in the hand, looking at the sleeping man. Shadows stretching on the wall, listen to the city call. Sneakers stepping on the grave, washing all the heat away. Breathing settles in the quiet space. Calling wind just blowing on the face. Ready for the heavy bass to fade. Walking down the middle of the lane, watching out the final heavy strain. Stepping over solid concrete rain, watching every shadow fade away. Letting every muscle softly rest. Feeling perfect, I'm in the Yellow taxi moving slow, bathing in the afterglow. Silver key upon the hand, nothing left to understand. Taking off the heavy hood, everything is looking good. Shoulders dropping to the beat, on an ever quiet street. Breathing settles in the quiet space. Calling wind is blowing on the face. Ready for the heavy bass to fade. Walking down the middle of the lane, watching out the final heavy strain. Stepping over solid concrete rain, watching every shadow fade away. Yeah, letting every muscle softly rest. Feeling perfect, I'm in the chest. Making me walking down the middle of the lane, washing out the final heavy strain. Stepping over solid concrete rain, watching every shadow fade away. Yeah, letting every muscle softly rest. Feeling perfect, right in the chest. System cool.
30 minutes in the past, nothing moving very fast. Taking off the running shoe, looking at the silent view. Heavy jacket on the chair, breathing in the quiet air. Carpet resting on the feet, leaving out the empty street.
The heavy heartbeat settles in the quiet room. A gentle shadow washes out the city gloom. Ready for the mellow chord to play. Unless sneakers on the hallway floor, nothing here be waiting anymore. Resting on the solid wooden chair, feeling perfect right down in the air. Yeah. Letting every muscle softly melt. Best composure that I ever felt.
Water sitting in the glass, watching 30 minutes pass. Ceiling fan is spinning slow, bathing in the afterglow. Silver medal on the dash, nothing heavy left to check. Shoulders dropping down a bit, finding out the perfect fit.
The heavy heartbeat settles in the quiet room. A gentle shadow washes out the city gloom. Ready for the mellow chord to play. Unless sneakers on the hallway floor, nothing here be waiting anymore. Resting on the solid wooden chair, feeling perfect right down in the air. Letting every muscle softly melt. Best composure that I